In this video, we're in the world's most historic city, Jerusalem.
Hi, I'm Troy.
And I'm Andrea, and we love adventures. Whether it's in our own backyard or on the other side of the globe, we're always looking for something to do. We love to ride bikes, we do bike reviews, foodie adventures, all kinds of stuff. We just love to have fun. And in this series of videos, we want to take you along on a big adventure. We are in Israel and Rome for 2 weeks, and we are so excited and can't wait to take you along. Troy and Andrea here, and today we're continuing our big adventure in Jerusalem. It's been another amazing day. We started out at the Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall, although they don't really call it that anymore. But we went and got to touch the wall. After that, we took a tour through the tunnels that go underground and it dates back to the time of Herod when he built the palace, 2,000 years old. It was amazing. We got to go completely along the wall. Up above us now are Muslim homes, and it was an amazing experience.
Another incredible moment to be at the Western Wall back here. These lower rocks that you see here, these lower stones, are from the Herodian Temple. That's from back in the time of Jesus. And then the ones above those are from the Ottoman Empire. And then above that, even more recent in the 16th century. So it's incredible to see this and see all these men praying, to be here in the place where the temple of God once stood. Alright, so we are at a very unique place in Jerusalem. What you see behind us here is the base of the Western Wall of the Temple Mount. These stones that you're seeing here were laid here by Herod's laborers who quarried these up the hill and rolled them down. But this one stone is said to weigh somewhere around 500 tons. And this thing is massive. And this is the original stones that were laid here over 2,000 years ago. Absolutely amazing to see this subterranean part of the Western Wall. Now we're at the Jerusalem Archaeological Park.
We're right by the southern steps where it is likely that Peter delivered the first sermon and 3,000 were baptized that day. Evidence of that, there are mikvahs everywhere, been the perfect place to be baptized.
So I hope you can see what it is that we're doing right now, but we are currently sitting on ancient pavement stones. So this is a street level. These are stones that were the pavement of the time of the temple, the time when Jesus would have been here. And what we're seeing behind us is the rubble that the Romans pushed off. That the Romans, when they destroyed the temple, they pushed off these stones, and you can see where it damaged the street down below. Just amazing piece of history right here. So here's another one of the moments that I've been waiting for, is to see these southern steps that are leading up into the temple. This is fascinating in the fact that these steps are different heights and different depths because they didn't want anyone to come to the temple without reverence, without respect, paying attention to what you're doing. Don't just haphazardly walk up to the temple. Instead, because they're different heights and widths, you had to pay attention. So here's something that is extremely fascinating, is this stone that you see right here. This is a paving stone that was part of a street that would have been here as you exit out of the Temple Mount, as you exit out of the temple. This is probably a place where Jesus Christ himself stood, or all the apostles as well, as they would walk this street along here. Just fascinating to go all the way back to the 1st century and see a stone like that. So this has been a really fun day for us so far, getting to be in the old city of Jerusalem and seeing all the sights as Andrea just explained and everything, and being able to be around and just kind of put everything into context. You know, we read about these stories in the Bible, or we've heard these stories growing up and everything, but to see it in person is just amazing. And things like that paver stone up top, where probably Jesus himself stood, as well as overlooking the Kidron Valley. To my left here is the Mount of Olives, and just imagining how all this would have been, the most historical city in all the world here in Jerusalem. And it's been a great day so far, and we still got more to come. And so from here we're going to be heading out to see where Samuel is supposedly buried, and then go to the Valley of Elah. rather interesting sight here. This is the tomb of Samuel the prophet. Didn't really know about this being on our tour. It was listed, but I just didn't pay much attention to it for some reason. But very fascinating, as you're able to go inside this church here and go all the way up to the top and overlook all around, back over towards Jerusalem, as well as the land all around. And it's pretty fascinating because you think back in the time of the prophet Samuel, whenever he anointed Saul as king, and Saul, it says that Samuel came down from the high place, so he would have been up here on this place. Well, now his bones have been interred here, or at least that's the tradition, that here is the tomb of the Samuel prophet. And it's interesting, on one side of the tomb you have all the men who are there praying, Jewish men who are praying, and then on the other side of the tomb, is literally just on the other side, is the women's section. So it separates the men and the women to go down and do those prayers. Truly fascinating place. I had no idea about something like this, but this has been a great visit. So this is a very fascinating place that we're standing, and what you're seeing behind us is the Valley of Elah. Now, some of you might not know what that is, but you probably know the story of David and Goliath. This is the valley where that famous battle took place. That battle where a young shepherd boy went and grabbed 5 smooth stones out of the brook. In fact, just right over our shoulders here, right over here, is that brook. Now it's dry, there's not any water running through there, but it's also not a lot of rain in this part of the country. But down in there are those stones, and he took those 5 smooth stones and slayed that giant. But it happened right here. So on one hill over here on one side, you have the Israelite army, and way back over on this hill back here, you have the Philistines. And it was right out in this field, somewhere in this area, that many scholars believe that Goliath came out and was taunting the Israelite army, and so David went out, stood, and defeated him. This is these kind of places like this, and you can read about them in your Bible. They're stories you've heard your whole life. Then to come there and see it is just, I don't know, what do you think, Andrea?
It's amazing. It's a little overwhelming to think all this history is right here. It's like a puzzle, and you've got the archaeology and the Bible and geography, and it's just fitting all those pieces of the puzzle together. It's amazing.
Absolutely wonderful. So we were enjoying our time here, and it's just been a great day. All right, guys, well, wow, what another incredible day here in Israel. We literally just got off the bus. We're back here at our hotel, and we just crammed so much into one day. Every day is so much that is being crammed in, and we saw a lot of great sights today.
We did. So like we mentioned earlier, we went to the Western Wall, and one of the interesting things about that is the men have their own separate area that the women go, and actually a lot of stuff down there. Like even when we went into the that archaeology park,
yeah,
the men have a separate entrance than the women. It's right next to each other, and you come out together on the same side, but you can't go through the doors together. So there was a lot of stuff like that. And then there was things about washing up the hands and how that's all done.
And all of that has to do with there's so many Orthodox Jews here, and so they have very specific things that they do, and so there's a growing population of them here, and so you see more and more of that separation and those rituals that they do.
Yeah, so that's all been like very interesting to watch that, and just how they're dressed, and there's different wands and different things. And the other thing that was really you know, kind of moving and amazing for me is I talked before in an earlier video how I teach 5th and 6th grade Bible class, and we just finished the book of Joshua, and so it was a very moving experience for me to go to Jericho. Well, now we're down this next year coming up in the fall. I'll be teaching Ezra and Nehemiah, and that's all about rebuilding the temple. So we were down there at the temple, so it was like so much like coming into me that I'll be able to draw on. So I'm really excited about teaching Ezra and Nehemiah.
Yeah, I mean, this is why it's called the most historical city in the world, because there's so much history. We're looking at primarily Christian history here, but there's so much more that we're not even touching on.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video of our time here in Jerusalem, and we got a lot more coming up, so be sure and stay tuned, because we've got some more time here in Jerusalem, as well as going up into the Sea of Galilee in that area. Thanks for being with me and Andrea on one of our big adventures. We'll see you in the next video.